welcome to On This Day in Tudor History with me, Claire Ridgway, author of quite a few Tudor history books. Now, where am I taking you back to today? Well, I'm taking you back to the final year of Mary I's reign, but actually it's nothing to do with Mary I. This is a French event. But on this day in Tudor history, the 19th of April, 1558, 15-year-old Mary, Queen of Scots, and 14-year-old Francis the Dauphin, son of King Henry II of France, were formally betrothed. The King of France escorted the young Scottish Queen into the Great Hall of the Louvre Palace in Paris, while Anthony Bourbon, King of Navarre, escorted the Dauphin into the hall. After the king announced that Mary and Francis, or Francois as he was called in France, would marry in 5 days' time on the 24th of April 1558, the Cardinal of Lorraine joined the couple's hands and they made their vows, with Francis declaring that, of his own free will and with the fullest consent of the king and queen, his father and mother, and being duly authorised by them to take the Queen of Scotland for his wife and consort, he promised to espouse her on the following Sunday, April 24th. Mary agreed too. The formal betrothal was celebrated with a lavish ball. Where Mary danced with her future father-in-law, the king, Francis danced with his aunt, Marguerite of Valois, and Francis's mother, Catherine de' Medici, danced with the King of Navarre. Historian Lady Antonia Fraser doesn't seem to think much of Mary, Queen of Scots' first husband, the Dauphin. In writing of his affection for his bride-to-be, she also writes, "His mother, Catherine de' Medici, and Mary Stuart seem to have been indeed the only two human beings for whom this pathetic, wizened creature felt true emotion." Ooh, harsh. She goes on to say that Francis had been sickly in his childhood, and now in adolescence his physique was scarcely developed and his height was stunted, and that he showed little enthusiasm or aptitude for learning. Oh dear. His bride, however, was described by the Venetian ambassador as the most beautiful princess in Europe, and she was tall for a woman of the time, being about 5'11". On the eve of the wedding, the 23rd of April 1558, the royal family prepared for the marriage by moving to the Bishop's Palace, which was located near to Notre Dame Cathedral, where the ceremony would take place. Historian Retha Warnick, in her book on Mary, explains that a viewing platform had been erected on the pavement outside the cathedral for important officials, and that a 12-foot-high arch-shaped gallery had been constructed linking the Bishop's Palace door to the cathedral door, and that it was decorated with greenery. A pavilion decorated with fleur-de-lis had also been erected near the cathedral door. Historian John Guy notes that Henry II was determined that his son's wedding was to be the most regal and triumphant ever celebrated in the Kingdom of France, and that there had been secret preparations for it for well over a month, with people from officials to carpenters, dressmakers to pastry chefs, working day and night. This marriage was important to Henry. The agreement for the marriage stipulated that if Mary died without heirs, then Scotland would become a vassal of France. And Mary wasn't just Queen of Scotland, she was also going to be laying claim to England. You can find out more about the marriage of Mary, Queen of Scots and the Dauphin, the future Francis II of France, in my video from the 24th of April last year, which I'll give you a link to. Also on this day in Tudor history, the 19th of April 1587, Sir Francis Drake singed the King of Spain's beard, as he called it, by attacking the Spanish fleet in the harbour of Cadiz. You can find out more about that in last year's video, which I'll give you a link to. Thank you for joining me. You can subscribe to this channel by clicking that button there, and please do consider doing that. You can also give me a like and leave a comment, and you can hit the bell to be notified as these videos go live, which is every day at the moment. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.